All right, it is time now for a great book. It's an interesting idea. 36 well-known North American publishing superstars from all the genres have come together to create something called 14 Days, and it's all to fight book bans and library closings in America.
Joining us now is one of those writers who happens to also be the man behind the iconic Goosebumps series, author Robert Lawrence Stine. We are so happy to have you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I'm still thinking about that 30-gallon bucket of mayonnaise you can win.
That's vile, right?
Isn't that vile?
No, that's a real horror story.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can write about that.
Yeah, I know. It might be too scary for me.
To terrify your kids. So this is so cool. I want to talk about the this amazing idea of all of you coming together for this. But first of all, we were doing a little research, and I think it's so interesting that you started out writing about being funny. You were writing humor.
No, I was always funny. It's embarrassing. It wasn't even my idea to be scary. It was somebody else's idea. That's embarrassing.
That
I didn't think of.
That is so.
I always thought kids liked joke. I wrote joke books in a funny magazine for 10 years, and I was just funny.
Yeah, you were known as Jovial Bob Stine.
I was Jovial Bob. But those were the days, you know?
Yeah, it's incredible.
And 400 million books later, I guess you could listen. Yeah. You could totally scare some kids.
Sarah, it worked out. It worked out okay.
It really did. All right, tell us about how were you first asked to contribute to 14 Days?
How was I? Somebody called me. Douglas Preston forced me. He forced me to write a story for this book. He's always forcing me to do things. Oh. And I'm very obedient. I do whatever I'm told. And no, I was happy to be included with people like Scot and Margaret Atwood and Douglas Preston. What nice company I'm in.
Yeah, and tell us about this book. It's set during COVID, and it has a bigger purpose, but it's all these superstars coming together to write a little bit of it?
Well, it's a tenement building on the Lower East Side of New York during COVID. Everyone's in lockdown. No one can get out. And every night they come up to the roof and they sit apart from one another and they tell stories. And they all tell different stories. And that's basically what the book is about. It's sort of like Scheherazade or maybe Decameron Nights, where just people get together and tell story after story. And there's 36 wonderful stories in this book. And you never know. They're all different. You never know what's coming up.
And what was your part? Could you tell us a little bit about what you actually wrote?
Well, I always try to bring the level down a few notches. So my story is about not somebody who lives in the building. My story is about this guy who's a failed stand-up comedian, and he comes up to the roof to jump off.
Oh, that's pretty damn. You're bringing it down a notch there, R.L.
Oh, wait, you have a
little... I always do. I don't know why they keep inviting me.
But you have, because it's your friend. We see your little doggy back there.
It's Lucky.
Hey, Lucky.
Lucky always gets on camera somehow.
Oh, my God.
It's Lucky's birthday. He's 3 years old.
That is amazing. So congratulations.
Happy birthday, Lucky. So what is the bigger purpose of this book? Because you guys are also coming together as literary superstars to hopefully make change.
It's published by the Authors Guild. It's the very first anthology the Authors Guild has ever done. And there are hundreds of authors who belong, and they do good work for authors. They fight banned books, they fight copyright problems. They do, a million wonderful things for authors. So I was very happy to be part of it and happy to contribute. Authors Guild is just such a good group of people.
You grew up in Bexley, Ohio. You started writing at the age of 9 when you found a typewriter in your attic. And you've written books for adults and, of course, for children. Do you have a preference whether you write for kids or adults?
I don't know why anyone would want to write for adults. Why would you want to write for adults? Kids, my audience, my 7 to 11-year-old, the middle grade audience, it's the best audience there is.
That is great.
They want to know, they want to read. I get kids the last time in their lives they'll ever be enthusiastic.
Oh my God.
That's a great come on, that's a great audience.
That is a great
And
audience.
listen, 31 years of Goosebumps. Do you believe that?
I can't believe
That
it.
is
It's
incredible.
really
That's
remarkable.
That's why I look like this. 31 years of this stuff.
Oh,
Well, we're so honored to have you, and I love that there's both of us were born in Columbus, Ohio, so I feel a little kinship.
Oh, yeah, where were you in Columbus?
I grew up for a little bit
Where?
until kindergarten in Worthington Hills.
Oh, I went to Bexley. I grew up in Bexley.
yeah, that's great.
And-
We hated everyone in Worthington.
Okay. Well, I moved to Michigan, so it's okay.
Thank you, RL. Hey, 14 Days is available now, and if you would like to meet R.L. Stine in person, and who wouldn't, you can join him for a book talk and signing with fellow authors Roxana Robinson and Rachel Vale tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at R.J. Julia in Madison.
Yeah, you can meet the one and only. Adults can go too.
Thank you, RL. Oh, he's gone.
All right, there you go. So Boston
His dog,
Post Roy
Lucky.
Madison. He's hysterical. I love
He
him.
is a very funny man. Very funny man. All right, still ahead on this Tuesday.